2022 CR 9151W, State of Texas versus Jamie Lozano. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense.
Robert Maurer for defendant.
And are you Jamie Lozano?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? Are you the same Jamie Lozano who was placed on community supervision in 2022 CR 9151W for the offense of burglary of a building with intent to commit theft on September 23rd, 2022 for a term of 2 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
State?
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of October 2022 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jamie Lozano, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamine, in violation of condition number 2.
All right, and I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that so that probation can hear?
Oh, sure. Violated condition number 2.
Everyone, please whisper. Thank you.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 19th day of October 2022 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Jamie Lozano, did then and there illegally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamine, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
Your Honor, will waive the remaining violated conditions.
Any objections to the waivers?
No, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, court could find it true, grant the motion, and sentence you up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $500 fine? Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2? Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
No, there's not, Your Honor.
All right, state, what are you requesting?
The state is in agreement with probation recommendation, alternate amending, continuing the individual on probation and as having to attend SATF with aftercare. In lieu of that, if the court does not agree with that, revocation at that point.
All right, defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, I spoke with Ms. Lozano about the state's recommendation. Her request is that she be allowed to continue on probation and do outpatient treatment. She says she's clean now and she is trying to be able to take care of her 15-year-old child, and I'll let her speak on her behalf if it's okay with you, Judge.
All right, you want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Jamie Lozano.
All right, so your counsel is telling me that you want to be in outpatient treatment because you want to take care of your child?
Yeah, I'll do outpatient. I've been sober.
Well, no. I want you to listen to my question. Your attorney says that you want to be out so you can take care of your child.
Yes.
Here's my problem with that statement. Everyone here knows, including your attorney knows, I always ask people if they have children.
Yes.
And obviously you told me you did not. You know how I know you told me you didn't have any children? Because I didn't request parenting classes. And it's not listed on this sheet anywhere where I requested parenting. Now, if another judge would have sentenced you, then I could understand. So when your attorney says you're sober, what's your drug of choice?
I used meth with my ex.
Meth and what else?
That was it.
So when's the last time you used before being taken into custody?
Whenever I was with him back in December 24th, whenever I left him. And he hit me. He hit me on December 24th and he had me locked in a hotel room when he got out of prison.
All right, so he was in prison?
Yes, he was.
So why did you get back with him?
He didn't. He came and got me whenever he got out because I had changed my number and left him.
All right. So I will tell you right now, some of what you're telling me, I do not believe. This is what I know. I know that people, when they are in the throes of their addiction, they tell great stories. And those stories are so believable. Like I know people who are using drugs, they could tell a story that the moon is made of blue cheese and they would have you believe in it. They will say, well, I just ate some yesterday because it fell down. And you're like, oh my gosh, is the moon really made of blue cheese? Here are your choices. You can either do inpatient treatment or you can go to SATF. I'm sorry, you can go to SATF or either you can do 2 years in the state jail facility. because you have a drug problem and you would not be a good parent to a child at this point in your life because you're not clean and sober.
I've been sober. I was sober before that too.
Yeah. I'm giving you choices. Here's your first choice. You can go into inpatient treatment, get help for your drug problem, or you can go to prison for 2 years. And that's the state jail facility. Either way, whether you go to SANF to try to better yourself and become a clean and sober and a good parent, or either you go to the state jail facility for 2 years, time is going to pass. And this person that you're with, are they the father of the 15-year-old?
No, he's back in prison already. He got.
No, you're not listening to my question. Is he the father of the 15-year-old?
No, he's not.
Did you meet him before or after you had the 15-year-old?
I met him afterwards.
All right. So I don't know why you would bring this type of person into your child's life. This 15-year-old, is it a girl or a boy?
It's a boy.
All right. I don't know why you would bring this person into a 15-year-old's life. When you have children, guess what? Children have to come first because they can't fend for themselves.
I understand.
So where's the 15-year-old now?
I'm not sure if he's still in juvenile for fighting, for being young or not.
So you're saying the 15-year-old, your 15-year-old beat you up?
Yes.
All right, there's a whole host of issues going on here. Mr. Maurer, you're aware that she's saying her 15-year-old beat her up?
Judge, any conversation would be attorney-client privilege.
Yeah.
I cannot reveal any such conversation if in fact it took place.
All right, thank you, Mr. Maurer. So here is my question for you. So is this juvenile, your child, in juvenile because they beat you up? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. He has, his dad beat me up for 8 years. And
He has what?
his dad beat me up for 8 years and I got really bad PTSD. And then I left him for 9 years and he's had a hard life. That's my son because his dad's not in his life. He's angry. And I homeschooled him and he's attacked my parents twice and he was on probation and they think that he smoked
How far did you go in school?
to college.
How much college?
A year and a half.
I don't understand people who think they can homeschool people.
I had my boyfriend has 2 master's degrees in teaching.
I'm sorry, what?
My ex-boyfriend before that has 2 master's degrees in teaching, and my son was very traumatized from his dad watching me get beat up and hit me with the car and different things like that. That homeschooling became something whenever I had left that really 9 years of abuse that we did homeschooling for a while. Then my son was going to public school and he got his phone stolen, and that's what caused a lot of the anger issues that he's had for 2 years. And he has attacked my mom, my dad, and me. And now he's he asked for help this last time when he beat me up that day.
Your story is all over the place.
I had to live it, ma'am.
Well, I mean, no, it's as though we're on Calabria and you're taking me on,
I'm just
Highway 120 and stuff.
Judge, would you consider a psych eval?
Yes, I will.
I that may be warranted under the circumstances. This
PTSD really bad.
I just have some concerns based on
The conversation that we're
Yes.
having.
Yeah.
yes.
All right. So this is what we'll do. We will do a evaluation. Ms. Ferguson, can you refer her for a psychological? I'm sorry, what?
I don't take meds. I've been diagnosed and everything.
What have you been diagnosed with?
With severe PTSD and anxiety and my disability.
On disability for mental health issues?
Yeah, that's for my anxiety and stuff. I was in a abusive relationship for 9 years with his dad. And then I've been away from him for 9 years. This December will be 9 years.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, Judge,
I just
not
want-
at this time.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We will have her evaluated for competency, Ms. Ferguson, and probation. I know if she is incompetent, it wouldn't do probably wouldn't do well to do the MIC, but could you see about MIC evaluation anyway?
What, my office, the facility, right?
Yes.
We do a MIOP evaluation,
Yes.
that may be more
I recommend
appropriate,
it.
or the ISF field diagnosis.
All right. Could we do the MIC MIOF evaluation for her? All right. And what we'll do is, even though she's pled true to violation to number 2, when we come back for another hearing, if she still wishes to plead true to number 2, she can still plead true to number 2. But for now, counsel, are you asking that her plea of true be withdrawn?
At this time, yes.
Any objections? All right. Is there anything else that you need from the court?
I just want to go on for like home to hear my son. And I don't have a bond or nothing.
All right. So what's going to end up happening is you're going to be evaluated. It's probably not in your best interest. If what you're telling me is true about your son, then you're in no condition to parent him. And he is probably in no condition to be parented. And if he is in a juvenile facility, that means that Child Protective Services is involved because he doesn't have a parent to pick him up. So,
I live with my parents.
okay, well, they're not picking him up, obviously, if he's still in juvenile, and maybe they're not releasing him. I have no idea what his charges are. I'm sure your counsel doesn't have any idea what his charges are, and your counsel doesn't represent him. But what I'm telling you, in your best interest, I'm going to allow that the plea of true to number 2 be withdrawn without objection from the state and with a request from the defense. You're going to be evaluated by a doctor. When the doctor comes to see you, your attorney will let you know what type of questions they will be asking. But I am going to put in a MIC MILF evaluation as well,
Thank you.
so the court can have it. All right. Do you know what you're on probation for?
Yes. 2 cases that was on probation for.
All right. Do you know the range of punishment? What you're looking at?
No, ma'am.
All right. You're looking up to 10 years in prison. So you have to ask yourself something. And the reason why I'm telling you need to ask yourself something, because it appears that we've tried treatment with you. You need to ask yourself whether marijuana is so important to you that it's worth potentially going to prison for 10 years. Because it appears to me that you're not really trying to remain clean and sober for marijuana. Because what I'm looking at, I have a dilute in August. Then in September, it's negative. Then in October, it's positive. Then November, positive. Then January, positive. I mean, it appears that you want to go to prison.
No, Your Honor.
Then why are you behaving as though you want to go to prison? Because it seems that your default position is, when in doubt, use marijuana. If I've had a bad day, use marijuana. If I've had a good day, use marijuana. Why are you continuing to use? Because here in Texas, marijuana is not legal. And you will go to prison if you continue to violate, or I should say, you have a potential of going to prison if you continue to violate the rules that I've set down for you.
Understood.
So when's the last time you used marijuana? And you need to be honest with the court.
I believe it was like a week and a half ago.
Well, not I believe. You know when you last used. Did you use yesterday?
No, ma'am.
So when's the last time you used?
About a week ago.
And why are you using marijuana?
I guess it's like you said, I have a bad day, possibly.
And what kind of bad day are you having? Is it a bad day where you're going to prison? That type of bad day? Because to me, that's a bad day. I'm going to prison. So what is going on with you? What bad day are you having?
Maybe just work, overworking.
Well, a lot of people overwork, but they don't turn towards marijuana. I see people doing other things because they're trying to stay up so they can overwork. How old are you?
25.
All right. I don't know what's wrong with young people these days where your default is always I wouldn't say for a majority, but for some that I have in here, young people, your default seems to be, let me do whatever makes me feel good in the moment, instead of thinking past that moment and how it's going to impact your life. So I don't understand how you overwork, so you use marijuana. Walk me through it.
Believe it could just be something relaxing. But
Read a book. I'm reading a book right now. I still have 30 pages to go. You know what? I was so tired from yesterday. I didn't even get to read these 30 pages. I still do not know who committed the crime in death by committee. 30 pages left. I'm waiting to read the next book in the cozy mystery, and I can't. Because you know what I do when I'm overworked? I end up going to bed, going to sleep. Because I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. Didn't even get to have dinner. Just went to bed. And just as a side note, was it painful to put that jewelry in your cheek?
it was actually.
So why do it?
I thought it looked cool.
Is it real? How do you take it out? If you take it out, will there just be a hole in your cheek?
There would be like a screw, it's something you screw on. So it's
Are you able to unscrew it yourself?
No.
You have to get a professional to do that?
Yeah, like a piercer. Yeah.
How much would it cost to go back to a professional and have that removed?
Not too sure.
All right. That's a way to have repeat customers. You put something in them and you're the only person who can remove it. All right. So probation, what do you all recommend for him?
Your Honor, the recommendation is to amend conditions for intensive outpatient treatment, do weekly urinalysis for 60 days, 30, 60 days.
Okay. And then it says on here something about closed interest on restitution matter.
Yes, Your Honor, the restitution was ordered to be investigated and letters were sent out to the victims. And the letters, there has been no response to the letters. The letters were sent out on October 31st of 2021 and then August 22nd of 2022.
All right. So this is what we're going to do. We'll close the interest on the restitution matter because people have tried to reach them. I'm going to want the weekly UAs. He's going to be tested for levels. If those levels rise, a motion to revoke is going to be filed. If he becomes clean, then I'm going to want the UA hotline until further notice. It needs to be tested at least once a week. I'm going to want IOP. And how much time? Oh, he has. Oh, and then do a referral to felony drug court. From here on out, when you are tired and you're like, oh, I'm tired, instead of eating a salad or drinking some chamomile tea, I'm going to do marijuana. You need to ask yourself, could this potentially result in me going to prison for 10 years? Is marijuana worth it? And I do know from clients I've had in the past, there's a lot of things that you can make at the jail. Marijuana is not one of them. So there's nothing that you can make at a jail. You're not going to get away with growing a marijuana plant. You understand?
Yes, sure.
All right, you had better do better. Otherwise, a motion to revoke is going to be entered. What's going to end up happening is they're going to arrest you. You're either going to come in like you are today in civilian clothing, or either they're going to bring you over from the Bexar County Jail. Do you understand?
Yes, sure.
You're going to have to do better. And you need to get a sponsor. So when you ever feel like you are going to use marijuana, you need to be around people to say, don't do that. You could go to jail or prison, as opposed to people, your friends saying, oh yeah, let's do this. You understand?
Yes, sure.
All right.
Your
Yes.
I would say that he was instructed to attend sober support meetings, but they're indicating they don't have anything on file.
All right. You're going to 90 meetings in 90 days. If you don't show up for that, again, a motion to revoke is going to happen. And there are sober meetings all over this county and all over the state of Texas. And when you feel like you're too tired and you just want to do marijuana, go to a sober meeting. And you can't be too tired. It takes a lot to do marijuana. You got to roll it. Do they now make it where you don't roll it anymore? I think you got to roll it unless you buy it already rolled. Then you got to light it. And sometimes my understanding, it doesn't light on the first try. I've never done any drugs. This is just what I've seen from watching, I don't know, New Jack City or something. So that takes a lot of work. It's not like you just walk into the refrigerator and take an alcohol, and you're not allowed to use alcohol either. You understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, do better. And you don't have any children, do you?
I do not.
All right, that's a good thing. You're not ready. All right, probation is going to go over new conditions with you.